Hi, in this video I will make an overview about the JSON API out package with Laravel Sanctum. So in order to make this video, I already make a Laravel Fresh installation application and I will install Laravel Sanctum. So here in the docs, I could install the package from Composer. Then I will publish some files and I will migrate the database. At this time, the database Sanctum app is empty. So I will migrate the database, and if I refresh, here is the user, the personal access token. So it's simpler than Laravel Passport package, but it's really powerful. In this example, we are not going to use Sanctum as an SPA. We are going to use it as a RESTful API application. So we are not going to use this feature, and we are not to override the behavior. So I will directly use the HAS API token straight. So I will go to user model and I will add HAS API tokens from Laravel Sanctum. So right now I have it straight and I am ready. I will go to the JSON API authentication documentation. I will go to installation. I will copy the command to install the package from Composer. Composer required. Then I will copy the command to install the package, and it's PHP Artisan JSON API out column install. So at this moment, we have the routes, the same routes as Passport. It's the same classes, the same implementation. And right now, I will show how it works. So my app is Sanctum-app, and I will go to Sanctum endpoints. I will register a user with the application name Sanctum app, and in the body I will add my test user, that is John Doe. I will save the request and I will register a user with a token. So in this example, I will refresh. I have a token, I have a user. I will log in again. And okay, I am registered, so this is not available because the user already exists. So I will log in as John Doe with the same password. I will update the correct application URL, Sanctum app. Okay, I get 2 tokens, I will get 3 tokens. So I have the tokens here. I will log out. So I will use the Vario token that I create and I will log out. Of course, I need to pass the correct domain, Sanctum app. That is a development domain from Valet. You are successfully logged out and all the tokens are revoked. But I can change this behavior in config file. I could go to config JSON API auth and change the behavior to delete current token and turn this option to false to delete all tokens. So I can delete only one. I will log in again twice to get 2 tokens. So if I refresh, I have 2 tokens, and the last one is the one that I will use to log out. So I will send a request, and this token will be removed. I will refresh, and then the last token was removed. So the login, the register, and the logout works. But what about the more advanced features? I have already login, register, and logout in 5 minutes. So what about changing the tokens, the scopes, or returning data? Okay, I will change the register to return different data. In this case, I will register AIN-DO and I will change the format of how I get data. I can make a review of the docs, and I can get this trait has to show API tokens in app HTTP controllers JSON API auth traits. So I will go to app HTTP controllers JSON API auth traits, and I have the trait. Okay, remember this package adds all the authentication to your project, so you can customize all the workflow as you need. Okay, in this case, the show credentials method returns the user as the docs say. So I will change the behavior to make it work as the example in the docs and show the name and the email. So I will add an array with the name and user name as the value of the key, and a key email with a user email. And then if I register another user with a /API register, I could get all the endpoints here at the time I install the package. So I will send a request, and now it shows only the name and the email of AIN. But I will do something more. I will register Mary. And before do the changes, I will add an accessor in models user, and I will add a simple accessor just to show that it works. Public function get attribute, and the name of the accessor will be name in uppercase. I will return the string in uppercase of the name of the user. Okay, right now I am returning this. So I will go to HTTP controllers JSON API, and in traits has to show API tokens, and I can customize this and name in uppercase. I am using the accessor. So if I send another request, the name of Mary will be shown in uppercase. Yeah, we have Mary Doe in uppercase. So I can customize the behavior. If you want to change the behavior of the tokens, you can change the string to create tokens in token ID. You can change the default values up, but you can override it and change the way it creates the token, and you can add scopes to add these scopes when a user creates a token. So you can get all these scopes available with a new registered user or when a user is logging, but you can also go to this trait and change directly the logic here, so you can handle how you want to return these scopes. So With that in mind, we can go further in more advanced features in forgot password, reset password, features that work together. And to work with forgot password, we need a service as an SMTP service like Mailtrap or Mailhug. In this case, Mailtrap is very popular, so we are going to use this. It provides a free inbox for development, and it works great with Laravel. You only need to sign in with Google or GitHub account and select Laravel. It provides some credentials. You can go to the EMB files and go to the mail section and change everything from mail encryption to mailer, and add an email that, don't worry, it's not necessary to be a valid email, it's just a test. So I will save these values and I am ready to start with Mailtrap. It's really simple. So at this moment, I will use this endpoint, the /API /forgot password. I could see the endpoint in my table if I don't want to get all the documentations to see all the time. So we are going to reset password, but first we need an email to forgot password. So /API forgot password, /API forgot password, and we need an email to reset the email. So in this case, we're going to reset the password of John Doe. We will send the request, and of course, we need to use a valid name, the name of the project, that is Sanctum App. I will send the request again, and I need to check my email. Okay, so I can go here and I can check my email, and I could see that I have this front-end URL with a token and an email query strings that you can grab with JavaScript and fill these inputs. So this is the intended behavior, because the idea is that this URL is for a reset form in a front-end project that is totally separated from the backend. But you can customize this endpoint, this URL, instead of using your front-end app. I don't know, we can override this behavior and change the URL in JSON API auth, in config, and in new password form URL, we are going to add test API frontend app. Okay, so we are going to send another notification. We're going to check your email, and here the URL change. Now you can see test API frontend. So you grab these values, but in this moment I don't have any frontend application, so I will grab the token and I will open another endpoint to reset the password. Where I could see this, I could see this in the docs. The reset password feature and forgot password feature worked very tight together. So the endpoint is /API reset password. I could see it in the table of the routes, and I will use the project name Sanctum App test /API reset password, and I will add all these values. I can grab the email and the token from the query string, and the user could change the password to a new password and confirm the password. All these rules has validations, and you could override the behavior in the form request. Okay, so at this moment I am able to reset the password, but this token expires, so it's not available anymore. So the token is invalid if I try to reuse it. Right now, the password changed from password to new password. And if I try to use the same email with the old password, it throws an error that the credential does not match with a 401 error. But if I change to the new password. I will send a request and now I am logging again. But we have more. If we see the documentations, we have another advanced feature that is email verification. So we have this endpoint /API email verification, and here we can send a request that will add a notification to verify email. But to test this feature, we are going to use the verify middleware. The verify middleware is a middleware that you can use to show some results only to users that already verified emails. So at this point, we are going to use a sample route that is added in API.php, the package at the sample route. So we are going to remove the comments, we are going to save, and this endpoint will show some message. So I will go to this endpoint, verify middleware example, and this is a get method. I will change the domain to sanctum.test/API/verify middleware. I will send a request and Sanctum app. And of course, I am not authenticated. Even if I get a correct Beaver token, I am almost ready to use this feature. I only need to add an interface in the user model. So if I go to user model in order to use the verify email account, I will implement must verify interface. So right now I am ready. I could work with email verification, and this route, the sample route that the package publish as a sample, use the auth get middleware that is pretty much the same as auth Sanctum, because we are using Sanctum, but this package also works for Passport, so it can handle the middleware of Auth API. But to be or to make it simple, you can use this class that will write it for you, and you only need to add the verified middleware. So at this point, we are not able to see this because even if we are authenticated, we are not verified. We need the middleware authenticated because APIs are stateless. So the only way to get if the email account is verified of the user is by getting the user, and this would work with the Beaver token. So at this point, we are not allowed to see this. If we send a request, we're going to say that your email address is not verified. So this throws all these exceptions and all this code because the project is in development mode. But in production, it will show just this message. Okay, we are almost ready to work with email verification. So we are going to use this endpoint and send a post request. This endpoint does not require any field, but it works with the Beaver token. So I will save this endpoint and I will use the endpoint to verification notification. I will send the token, an available token, and of course I need to update the application to a valid application because this app does not exist, Sanctum app. And email sent. Okay, right now I get an email, and this email will show a link it will redirect to some front-end URL with /verified endpoint. But if I am already verified, like I am at this moment, it will show another endpoint to already verified, because it redirects to different endpoints if the user is already authenticated. This is useful because your front-end application could use different endpoints or different views to show different status of the user. So you can override this behavior in config JSON API, and in email account was already verified, you can change this URL for the URL of your front-end application in the view that shows that already verified or the user is verified. You can use both configurations. Okay, so right now I could send the verification email, I could verify, and I could redirect to a front-end URL if I am verified. So right now the user is authenticated and is verified, so the user would see the message. If I send a request, email already verified. In this case, the email is already verified, so I don't need to send this request anymore to send more notifications. But the get method that is protected with this route, the sample route in API.php, this now is allowed, so we can see the message because the user is already authenticated. And the way that it works is that the bearer token of the user is the way that the code has to know that the user is already the user that is verified. So I send a request, and yeah, I can see the email account is already confirmed. Now you're able to see this message. Okay, but because I am using the interface of must verify in user model, must verify email, right now I am able to add any other some other implementation in register endpoint. I could register another user, maybe Joe, and right now Joe can handle the register creation and add a notification to verify the email, because right now the user has the must verify interface. So if I send the email, I can get the user, I can get the token, and I can get the notification. I will change the URL to verify just to show you that it works. I will go to JSON API, and because the email account is not verified and is not already verified, I could change both. I will add test API frontend, and here test API frontend. Verified and already verified. I will save, I will close, and then I will click this link the first time and test API frontend, change, and the second time it goes to the same URL / already verified. So instead of using frontend API, it works with test API. So you can change the URL as you want. Then you can even change this behavior and hide the token for a registered user in the config. So you can go to the first configuration and you can see this show token after register value. You can change the value to false, and it will be useful in cases where you want to register a user but you don't want to get directly authenticated. In these cases, I will remove this interface just to make more quickly the video, and then I will send the request. But of course, this this user already exists, so I will send Jojo and Jojo. I will send a request and okay, it returns the data, the custom data, but right now it does not return the token. So Jojo will need to log in to get the token and be authenticated. So in this way you can change the workflow of the authentication to get directly authenticated when a user is registered or change this behavior. Lastly, the docs have another feature that is password verification. That feature is useful in cases where you want to be ensure that the user want to make some action. For example, GitHub, when you delete a repository, GitHub show a prompt where you need to rewrite the password to ensure that this is the action that you really want to do and delete the repo. So for this, the package provides an endpoint that is /API/confirm password, and you can use it with your URL. So the project is Sanctum app.test/API confirm password. That is this endpoint, and you can see it here in the table. So at this moment, we are able to use it. We are going to log in and get a valid token. We are going to copy the token, and we are going to use this token to get authenticated and write a correct password. So in the request, we can get the return response as password confirmed. But if we add a wrong password and send the request, the data shows error. So this is a simple feature, but will be very useful in some situations. With that in mind, we are having all authentication workflow without writing any code, but we can also customize everything with Sanctum. So the package works great, and if you think that this could help you to be more quickly in your development, please consider to support the project, and I could make more patch releases, fix releases, and maybe if there are enough support, I could add more features. So thanks, and thanks for viewing all the talks